Welcome to another episode of Viall Files Bachelor Recap Edition.
My favorite episodes.
This is why Rochelle really is the producer of Viall Files. It's her affinity. It's really your dream.
It is.
The whole time, like, we should just do a dedicated Bachelor recap. Finally, after an entire year, I'm just here to make Rochelle's dream come true.
Nick.
But thanks for tuning in, guys. People seem to like this new format, so I think we'll stick with it for the foreseeable future, and we'll try to have some fun guests to join us. Like January joined us last week, and this week we have none other than my dear friend Juliet Litman, who is kind of the OG Bachelor podcaster. I don't know if she was the first, but she is the host of Bachelor Party. She had one before called, what was it, Right Reasons at ESPN.
7 years, she said.
She's been doing this for 7 years, so she's got a lot of good insight. So I did her podcast on today. It's probably out there right now. So if you listen to this, hop over and check out Bachelor Party.
She has a crazy brain. Like, she remembers dates. She remembers exact episodes, exactly what happened.
Well, she watched this episode twice. She like texts me. She's like, "Oh, I've watched it twice. Well, where are you at?" I'm like, "I haven't seen it. I'll get to it."
It was so juicy. Specific. You did need to see it twice. I feel like
it's a great episode.
Good.
So yeah, make sure you check it out. If you haven't noticed on our Instagram, we have some genuine and real merch for our dear friend Maddie, because all in good fun.
Yes.
Check out some of our other merch is now available, like our mug or our phone cases. We have phone cases.
Yeah, we got to get one for you.
Imagine being on a date and having this phone case that says, "I don't really like you. I'm just bored." Among other things.
Would that end?
Keeps them on their toes, I'll tell you that much. That is for sure. Or just a friendly reminder to yourself of why you do things or don't do things.
Yeah.
Anyways, make sure to check us out. Also, while you're listening, if you're needing some wonderful indoor scented essential oils, check out nhoils.com, Natural Habits. You can find us at Natural Habits on our Instagram and nhoils.com to purchase your essential oils. So whether you are suffering from headaches, you need a little relaxation, looking for an immunity boost, we have USD organic essential oils. So make sure to check us out. We are back to, I think, 20% off. Code Bachelor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Have it make sense. So it's a perfect gift for a friend, or the roll-ons you can take with you, or you can put them in a diffuser. So yeah, that's all we'll mention. That's all the ads we have for today. Keep it real simple.
Yeah.
Without further ado, Juliet Litman and our thoughts on episode number 2. Thanks for listening. Check us out tomorrow.
Stay real and genuine.
Real and genuine. Juliet, thanks for coming.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
And for those of you who have popped on over from Bachelor Party.
Yes, I'm the host of the Bachelor Party on the Ringer Podcast Network, where we started our conversation about The Bachelor a few hours ago.
Bit of an OG podcast we were just discussing before you came on. You were one of the first Bachelor podcasts out there.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years.
Were you the first?
I don't want to take credit for that. I can't be sure. I think I was early. I started doing the Right Reasons at ESPN when I worked at Grantland with my buddy David Jacoby.
Right, yeah.
And we started doing that in the summer of 2012. And we covered a lot of reality TV. And then we just really loved The Bachelor. So when I left Grantland and we were starting The Ringer, just decided to go all in on The Batch. And kind of coming back around to covering other stuff as well. But yeah, I've just been going ham. I think I first interviewed you right when The Ringer had started. But when I was at ESPN, I also interviewed Chris Soules,
I remember that.
Caitlin and Britt. We were part of the ABC car wash because of the corporate synergy.
I remember that. Yeah, that was my time when I would actively listen to podcasts about myself.
You did?
That's what everyone does. That's how we kind of always start these Bachelor recaps, knowing that all the women from this season are definitely listening. So I feel like I can just say hi.
Hello.
How's it going, Victoria?
We mean no ill will.
And Maddie.
I followed one of the women last Monday, so before the premiere had even aired. Immediate follow back.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, they know who you are for sure.
That's really nice.
And it's a little different. Yeah. And I've said this before. I actually said this on your podcast once, and especially for everyone new, when it comes to people like you, the reality Steves of the world, there's definitely this.
Come on,
Don't
man.
put her in the same basket.
I'm not putting in the same basket, other than the fact that they have been paying attention to you, maybe even as Bachelor fans, that you have an opinion on the show, and now they know that you're going to potentially have an opinion about them. And so all they want is you to like them.
Right.
It's all very personal.
Right. Well, I do like some of them so far.
Ooh, some of them. So should we just get right into it?
Sure.
Let's start off with the Maddie drama, the online Maddie, which
Maddie Rose. When Peter called her Maddie Rose, I was like, oh wow.
Maddie Rose, is that her middle name?
Yeah, already on nickname. I think her Instagram handle
sounds on brand.
Maddie Rose. Rose is a really popular middle name these days. Just really popular.
Yeah. I love how the show is. It's with social media. It's more fun that the show just keeps on going through the week as these decisions these contestants are making and what they think they should do or not do. For those of you who don't know, obviously Maddie has been accused of accidentally commenting.
She pulled a Kevin Durant.
Is that what Kevin Durant did?
Yes, Kevin Durant had a burner account where he responded to some troll like defending Kevin Durant, and it turned out to be Kevin Durant.
Did Kevin Durant ever admit to it?
He did.
He did admit to it.
Yes, he did.
Good for him.
I believe. I'll have to fact check that. I'm pretty sure he did.
So Maddie wrote something, "Hey, you're so genuine and real," and it was basically her commenting on her own page. It comes across as that Maddie, in fact, has a burner account, a Finster, if you will. Her story is that apparently there's this mystery friend that had access to her account and since November hasn't logged off, and coincidentally and accidentally happened to
she commented, yeah.
Which no one I feel if that happens to be the truth, I feel bad for her because no one's going to believe her.
No one's going to believe her at all.
Not a single person.
But even if it was her friend, why was she logged into her account? She's been back for a long time.
Well, again,
great point.
No one's going to believe her. But also, like, who is this friend? It's not her sister or her mother. It's like a mystery friend. I've heard from people. I've seen Maddie has also... she has all these quote unquote fan accounts of which she's reshared and reposted on her social. Some Bachelor people get fan accounts, certainly.
Sure.
Some.
Yeah.
That's like later on the season.
Yeah, when you're like top 6.
When you're the Bachelor.
Yeah.
5 or 6 Bachelor fan accounts before the season starts.
I know, it's a lot.
It's a little. And then reposting about it, like she's clearly very aware of her social presence.
I've noticed these girls in general are doing a lot of reposting, which I think is a bad idea.
It's a totally bad idea. You know, everyone's getting really bad advice. And that's the thing. Let's assume Maddie did this, right? I feel bad for her. But listen, there's no crime here. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She's being thrusted into this. They all think they know what they're doing. They're all most certainly getting terrible advice from all the people around them who are speaking on something they know nothing about.
Right.
With all these ideas of how to build their social presence. And listen, I get where she's coming from. She's 23. She doesn't know what she's doing. All she wants going in is people to like her. And she's trying to create a bit of movement.
Yeah.
You know, and it backfired.
It's really rough. Even if it is her friend, like you're saying, like it's not really an explanation for it. Like, okay. Also, it wasn't deleted that quickly. You'd think they would have noticed, or the friend would have been like, oh shit, this isn't my account. Like, also, there's not a lot of explanations that make sense other than she has burner accounts. And like, that's fine. I'm sure she also has like friends helping with their burner accounts.
Yeah,
but, like,
it's her friend or whatever.
Or assistant.
It also lends...
If she has an assistant already, then I would be like, Maddie, chill the fuck out.
It makes me wonder, like, also, what is she guarding against? Like, why do you need all these fan accounts? And, like, why do you need all this positive reinforcement?
She doesn't need this. She just, my guess is, thinks that's what she should do. And I wouldn't be shocked if someone gave her the idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're getting all this bad advice.
Yeah. Can I say something? Like, you really did utilize your platform. You know, your whole career is now like you're a podcaster because of The Bachelor. But can you really fault them for taking advantage of this opportunity?
No one's here faulting any of the people for having an Instagram, for posting during the season, for hoping they get as many followers as possible. She got caught doing something kind of stupid. And our point, ultimately unnecessary.
Totally unnecessary.
Right? She doesn't need to do it.
Right.
And it's not going to, like, whether Maddie gets a large following or not, or is well received by that Bachelor Nation or not, is not going to be because she writes a comment. And I'm sure my guess is her defense is going to be, why would I bother posting like that? I have thousands of people commenting, which is true, which it does make it insane, but she still felt the need to do it because for whatever reason, when you're in this situation, again, I from personal experience, you're just afraid that people won't like you, and you hope that you can, get people to like you. And I totally empathize with the motivation, and she probably got really bad advice. Do you think she should come clean?
Yes, definitely.
I totally agree.
Yeah, just own up to it and be like, I did it. This is a whirlwind experience. I'm still getting used to all the attention.
Exactly.
I've never been in this position before. I feel really silly.
Yes.
Ultimately, no harm, no foul.
Totally.
Let's laugh about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. She should come out there and do something genuine and real and say, like, listen, I feel like an idiot. I was stupid. I took some bad advice. I feel really silly. But you know what? I'm just going to own it and say, this was dumb. Because it is so not a big deal.
It's not a big deal at all.
Except that here's what's going to happen. She'll won't be allowed to do press for now. It seems like we can both agree that she's probably going far.
Definitely.
Right?
I think she, based on watching the teaser, I think she's the one who says that she doesn't want Peter to have sex with other people.
Yeah, I think so too.
That would seem on brand.
Yeah.
Right? At the same time, it's going to get brought up, and she's going to stick to the story. And as dumb as it is, if she keeps sticking to the story, everyone's just going to assume she's a liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as dumb as so even if
not like a straight up liar, just kind of shady and just not and the opposite of genuine.
The opposite. That's the beauty of it.
So if she just comes clean and just says, you know what? I feel stupid, and that was me, and it was solely based off of my fear of not being liked, and I hope you guys can relate, but it was really stupid, and what a learning opportunity for me. That's what she absolutely should do. I don't know if she will.
The funny thing is she's come off wonderfully. Nothing but positive vibes from Maddie from the show so far.
And yes, she's got, she's set up for the Raven Gates edit, the Hannah. She's she doesn't have to do anything.
Totally.
She's from the South. She's Christian. She seems really sweet.
She met the family.
Yeah, she got the family. Photo. She could literally do nothing and have close to 1 million followers by the end of the season.
Yeah,
she just
definitely.
has to, the Hannah G, she literally didn't talk, and look what she's doing. She's killing it.
I know. I know. I've heard Hannah talk so much more, Hannah G, in the last 5 months since Paradise ended than I did in the entire 8 months she was on television.
Yeah.
Kind of insane, actually. There's just a lot. But who would have thunk when you're free to say whatever you want and you don't have to run your Instagram posts and interviews through other people that you can show a lot of personality? How crazy.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of Instagram and killing with the theme, I absolutely loved the Revolve date.
I loved it too.
It was so meta. It was good on ABC for saying, you know what? Fuck it.
Because they already wear that.
We know that, let's just give them a taste of what their lives or what they hope their lives can be for the foreseeable future, and just introduce them to Revolve and the brand managers and the people they're going to hope to negotiate with for the next, and all the trips they're going to go on. And it was so meta. It was great.
It was hilarious. So I've been doing a little mental tracking of the calendar. If I recall, your birthday, you had a birthday at a bar in West Hollywood at the end of September.
Yes.
I think that was around the same day or the same time that they filmed this date, because there was it was a Revolve pop-up, I think, on Melrose.
It would line up. I mean,
and I'm pretty sure, I just feel like you should have been invited. It was around your birthday is my point. They can't believe they didn't invite you.
Why would they have invited me? That might have been a distraction.
They should.
Why would they have an ex-bachelor there?
That would have been so funny. Just in sunglasses, they don't even acknowledge you. They just pan to you watching the fashion show.
I don't think that would go over well for me as the guy who's criticized for coming back.
That's a good point. But didn't Ashley and Becca Tilly show up at your Backstreet Boys date?
They did.
They weren't shown, but they could have just had you there. I just feel like they actually missed an opportunity to also stage a Bachelor Nation reunion of some kind.
Yeah, I think, if you're using the Ashley and Becca reference, it's a Backstreet Boys concert. They're fans. It makes sense that they're in the crowd. It doesn't make sense that I am at a fashion show for Revolve.
There's plenty of things that don't make sense on these group dates all the time.
Sure.
Why are we drawing the line here?
Had they invited me and they've invited me to other stuff, I probably would have declined this one.
By the way, I really like Ashley, and I think she seems really cool. I also could not be more jealous of the fact that the Backstreet Boys serenaded her. We share a lot of common interests, and one of them is the Backstreet Boys. I think about that often. I'm so jealous. Just so you know.
Okay.
Was Jared your number one?
No.
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 I like Jared a lot, but no, definitely not.
You know, the most random group date to me was Lil Wayne when they were like smashing stuff.
That was Lil Jon.
Little John.
Yes, of course. Who could forget Becca and Blake?
Lil Wayne would have been better. I mean, I like Lil Jon, but I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan.
Of course.
Mostly because he's a Packer fan, and
yes, he does.
We show a common
he does
interest in football teams.
He tweets "Go Pack Go" very frequently,
Which
which is weird though because he's from New Orleans. Whatever. Anyway, carry on.
It's a whole story.
Back to the Revolve date.
Back to the Revolve date. Victoria F. Is it F?
F. Yes.
Here also just getting there's a theme so far I think on this season, and that is I mentioned on your podcast the women this season are particularly physically attractive.
Yes.
I also think that what you're seeing is a bunch of women who are so not used to being around other
hot
attractive women. And more than other seasons, I feel like you see these women who just have never had to deal with not getting the most attention from men. Victoria F being one of them. I don't buy for a second this like demure character she's trying to sell us and how she's insecure, not confident.
I think she called herself meek and timid. And I was like,
That
what are
there's
you
nothing
talking about? You kissed him on the runway in a negligee.
There's nothing meek and timid about her.
No.
And I say that as a compliment. I mean, I find she's stunning. As far as my taste in like physical attraction,
I think Savannah, she's one of the blondes. She was wearing red the first night. To me, Savannah is my number one looks-wise.
I mean, I said this. Every time they flash to a new girl I haven't seen of, I'm like, Jesus. Wow.
This is the hottest season ever. Can we agree on that?
Very frustrating.
Very hot.
It's
very freaking hot.
Anyways, yeah. So physically.
You're frustrated?
No, it's fine. I was like, Jesus, Peter. He's sending girls home. I'm like, who is that and why is she going? Anyway, so yes, I just don't buy this like meek character. I think it's kind of an act.
Oh, definitely. I would say she's whiny though. Like I think when she doesn't get her way, she starts to whine.
Yeah, she is not good at not getting the attention, and I think the meltdowns are real.
Yes,
but her reason for the meltdown is
she's just like I'm not used to this. Like I'm not used to putting myself out there and like fighting for attention. We're like. Fighting for attention, believe that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Putting yourself out there, don't believe that.
I don't believe that for a second.
But don't you think it was a good edit, like Hannah Ann, the confident one, versus the really hot one who doesn't quite know how hot she is?
I think overall she looked pretty good there. Listen, I do think it's the new norm is not having like your defined villain and like you're just going to hate this person.
Yeah.
I think you're just going to have various arcs and moments where. And I think that's ultimately what they've always tried to do. They want you to pick sides. They want one night to like, I think I like Victoria F. And another time you're like, do I like Hannah Ann? Do I not? I don't know. I think that's ultimately what they try to do. But I think she looked fine.
I think hard to believe Hannah Ann definitely comes off as like the more vicious one in that date because she does like Hannah Ann. She's got her elbows up and she, at the end when they're going one-on-one in the final round and they're wearing the same dress, she kind of like throws her dress in front of Victoria.
And like, she did it twice. And now is that an edit? Do you feel like?
And they slow-mo'd it.
That was great.
I was like, that's not a move. I was like, that's not a thing.
That's fuck you.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say, if Peter was judging, he definitely would have picked Victoria. He picked the one who kisses you in the middle of the fashion show. Duh.
So you're saying Peter's not judging?
No, he wasn't judging.
Yeah.
It was the other three. I said that.
Because did Demi win when she kissed
Colton?
Yeah, on the group date.
I don't think Demi ever won a date.
Really?
I don't think so, but I don't quite recall.
But Luke won when his talent was just saying how much he loved.
I thought Jed won that one.
No, Luke won.
Luke won.
That's the thing. It's an important lesson to pay attention. Like Hannah Ann, when you think early on, when you think you are winning, you're probably losing. First impression rose potentially, early group date, a lot of attention, winning like competitions that you get excited about, but ultimately like everyone just fucking hates you for it.
Right. I know. And Hannah Ann seems. I'm just gonna say it. Like she doesn't seem like a nice person. I just don't think she does.
Do you think her core in life is not necessarily nice?
Yes, I'm gonna say that. I'm sorry if that's mean, but she hasn't. I thought that the way she responded to Kelsey was pretty cold. Like she just was like trying to end it and move on.
What did you think of Demi in the first 2 episodes last year?
I didn't like her.
Okay.
So and now I like Demi.
Yeah, and Demi, from my experience, is one of the very few people from the past year that's actually genuine and real.
Genuine and real. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Demi that I really didn't like was the age shaming. I didn't know how, like, she was like making fun of Tracy for being old. That was like stupid and obviously for television.
Sure, and not her most redeeming moment, but that doesn't define her as a person.
You're right.
She was being drunk and catty.
I don't know Hannah. Maybe she's lovely. I
And
just
that's- I mean,
so far she's not coming off well.
I'm a little reluctant to like try to guess who they are at their core, as opposed to like just how they're representing themselves on TV. Because
and to Hannah Ann's credit, when Tammy went up to her and like explained what happened, she did seem genuinely sorry.
She didn't. No way. She did not know about the champagne.
Yeah, there's no way she knew.
There's no way she knew.
No, that was producer driven for sure.
Yeah, she seemed like legit, like shocked when Tammy told her.
Why would she? Unless she truly wants to be the villain and hated. There's no way she does that. What is the upside of doing that?
Yeah. Don't you think the producers were like, "Hey, there's a little spot over there. You should go sit." Do you think they could have done
here's
that?
what I think the producers did or didn't do. They didn't stop it from happening.
Right.
But there was another champagne under the couch or something.
Different couch setup.
Again, I'm just saying they simply didn't stop it. They weren't like, "Hey, just don't go there." They're just like, go wherever. Let's see what happens. There was that. Who's the girl who brought the champagne? Remind me of her name. Kelsey. Yeah, Sharon Stone from Casino. Her logic.
Okay, I'm pulling that up.
Have you seen Casino, Rochelle?
No, I need to.
You need to.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I think that's a rewatchable, or it will be.
If it's not, it should be.
I think it probably will be eventually.
Should we have a movie night?
Sure.
They have a podcast called Rewatchable.
Yes, we do.
Oh, nice.
Wait, let's go back to Victoria for a second, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
So she, I think, should have won the fashion show, but like would have been bad if Hannah, the actual model, had not. Like that makes sense.
What do you mean it would have been bad?
Well, just Hannah's a model. She should win. It's like when
it's not why she won.
I'm just saying, if she hadn't, it would have been a bad look.
She won because it has the most upside for pissing everyone else off, and also Victoria F's breaking down and had the most upside. If Hannah Ann would have lost, I'm guessing Hannah Ann would have just been like, whatever. I'm still doing fine.
Yes,
but they figured
Ann has all the confidence in the world.
You figure
too much.
I don't know if you could have too much.
Yeah, you can.
I think as women, we might think you can have too much. Perhaps you don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think women can have too much confidence specifically. Yeah. I'm not even talking about men. But I think, yes. I think the logic was who might freak out the most and who might piss everyone else off. And Hannah Ann winning and Victoria F taking second is the answer to that equation.
Sure. I just feel like Peter is very attentive to everyone's emotional breakdowns. Whenever he sees crying, he just jumps in there to help make them feel better, which I guess is very sweet.
The job of the Bachelor.
Yeah, I guess. He just was like with Victoria, he's like, let me give you some more privacy, and like took her to a different corner of the go-to antique store. I think that was the same place that they go to on La Brea. It's called like Daddy's Antiques or something like that. It is. That's what it's like. Some name very similar.
There's one in Culver City that they have. It's like it's a favorite spot for a group date.
Yeah, and I get it why. It's like a lot of different setups.
Different setups. Yeah, and, it's easy to stage.
Works out nicely. Yeah, I get it.
Do you like that about him,
Peter?
Yeah, that he's attentive.
Yeah, I think Peter seems like a really sweet guy. I bet he would be a really good boyfriend. I think he seems like just a really good dude.
I don't know much, but everything I know about Peter, I really enjoy.
Yeah, I met him last week. He was like really delightful. He was like gracious and courteous and like just sort of like very willing. I think from the very beginning, you could tell that he was like excited about the experience. And I think that makes for a good Bachelor because like he's not like annoyed at having to do stuff. He seems to be really throwing himself into it completely. And I think that's very sweet. But like he also like, I feel like he takes this stuff really seriously. So when the girls start crying, he's like really concerned.
He's probably just really confused.
Right. It must be overwhelming. What's that like?
It's hard.
Week 2. You're really, like how many names does he know for this group date?
Well, we were saying that. I love the authenticity from Peter about how he's just kind of like, I don't remember you.
I love that.
It's really great.
Like, remind me.
Well, at this date, he's literally maybe anywhere from 60 seconds to maybe 5 minutes of conversation broken up by a 48-hour break. Right. So
how many days on versus days off do you have? So it's like 2 days
from
on.
From night one, there's a day break between night one and when it actually starts.
Right. So night one is the Thursday, starts on Saturday.
And so we got to see Maddie's one-on-one was the first date. So this is the second date we're seeing. So it's still the first day. No, the second day. Sorry. So this is like, there was a 48-hour break in terms of when he's seen these women. So he's talked to some of these women. Some of them he hasn't talked to at all, or he's talked to them for like 2 minutes, and then like someone came in, and now he's sitting down with them again. Yeah, a million things are going through his head. He doesn't remember any of it.
Don't they normally cut that out, like the not remembering them? Why do you think they're leaving it in?
Yes and no. Because looking back, I don't remember a lot of times where I even admitted to the women, like, I'm sorry, I don't remember. I feel
like you would have too. I feel like I really liked your attitude by like the time you were being choked by Jasmine. You were just like, nah, I just want what I want, and I'm not sorry.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was really at the end of my rope at that night.
That's one of my favorite moments because you were so clearly like, fuck this. It was pretty funny. Shout out Jasmine.
Yeah, shout out. So yeah, I think Peter's I love that he's just kind of...
He wants to like take care of people. I think that's clear. And it seems like he wants to take care of
every bachelor is like that. I mean, you are just... there's this responsibility you have as the bachelor. You don't want to be seen as a dick. You do empathize with the women. You've literally have been there. You know it's hard. So you do feel bad if like you are forgetting some of their names, and you feel bad because you remember being on the other side, just wanting to like stand out a little bit, or just not having to go home. So it's tough that way.
Yeah. I think with Victoria, it's going to get harder and harder to like talk about her, like just in the context of the show. Cause we mentioned this on my pod already. It's come out that she like modeled for this organization trying to save white Marlins, but they called it White Lives Matter, which is just like so stupid and not understanding the gravity of what you're talking about.
So disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's really, really terrible.
When she took out, when she walked out, I was a huge the model thing. She seems like one of the most physically naturally beautiful people.
Yes, I agree with that. Like, doesn't wear that much makeup. Yeah.
It's just kind of like literally effortless, right? So it is.
There's a lot of stories floating around about her, and that all the other ones are kind of like, I don't know if they're true. I've been trying to avoid spoilers because there's some stuff, but that one, there's pictures of her. It's fucked up and stupid and like totally not understanding the world. So like, I'm out on Victoria.
Like you don't think there's any chance it's just about fish.
Even if there is,
there's like a Confederate flag in the advertisement.
And to co-opt the phrase Black Lives Matter and turn it into White Lives Matter as like some funny pun is completely unacceptable. Like that's just like so messed up. Yeah. And to not have anyone in your life to be like, oh, maybe don't do that. I don't know.
Even if you're just a model and you just got hired and
people have agency in the jobs they accept.
Yeah, I think sometimes you feel like you don't.
I don't know that much about that world.
I'm just playing devil's.
I get it. I mean, who knows? I agree with you in terms of the other rumors you hear. It's like, who knows? So much he said, she said potential in there, but here it's. I hope that she addresses that.
Me too. I hope she does too. One thing,
because to your point, I'm a big believer. Like you can do and say ignorant things. It doesn't mean you are forever ignorant. Sometimes you can do things, and as long as you're willing to learn and change and accept fault and move on, I'm willing to, not label you forever, but I haven't always been as educated about certain topics as I am now, and I always continue to learn. So
you also had the benefit of going on this show. How old were you when you were on Andy's?
I was older, yeah.
That makes a huge difference in life.
Huge.
You know who you are. You know things about the world.
No, I mean that's
jobs.
The Maddie stuff and genuine and real. Like again, here's this 23-year-old girl. Sure, she feels old and she's never been this old, but she doesn't know what is going on, and she's thrust into the stardom, and she's getting all this advice. And I do absolutely empathize with all of these women, and then these new expectations of what this world is going to bring you and what it doesn't, and it's almost they know too much. They're too read in, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's a level of ignorance and not knowing what you're getting yourself into that actually protects you as a cast member. And now they know too much.
Yeah, I think, and also it's just like a different scene. Like when Peter came last week, he explained that his mom had first suggested he's apply like 4 or 5 years ago, and then he just like finally got the call back to be on Hannah's season.
Sure.
And there's just a whole new generation of contestants now who grew up watching the show with the phenomenon that it is, like really since I think, basically since Andy's season and since, where they bring so much more knowledge about the ecosystem and kind of social media in a way that like people who are just like, yeah, my friend's sister suggested it, or like, oh, my sister thought it would be a good idea. It's just different how people end up at the show than they used to.
Like it's almost a career path.
I mean, even
it's not even like putting all that aside, and I think that the people get a lot of heat for like wanting to launch a career by being on The Bachelor and whatnot, but like they just are aware of television and social media and this show as a franchise in a really different way. And it's covered really differently. Like when the show first started, it was like written off as a joke and like TV writers didn't think about it. But now Us Weekly and Cosmo and The Ringer and Bustle and like all these places cover it like breathlessly.
When it's on, it leads.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest clickbait.
What do you think about that new show they just announced, the live music one?
I mean, I think if nothing else, it speaks to how popular the show is, and they're literally thinking of anything to keep momentum going on the show. Not for me.
If you got Chris Harrison in your clutch, and you can get more ways for him to host, you do it. That man is a great host.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch that show?
Oh, I'll give it a shot for sure. I'll give it.
You're the music. You love a good musical. I feel like this is right up your.
Oh, I love musicals.
Musicals is different than like American Idol.
Have you watched Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist?
No, on Hulu, right?
Yeah, it's going to be on NBC, I think. But yeah, I started it. It's good.
It's good. Okay, I'll give it a try.
So is this more like American Idol meets The Bachelor?
I honestly don't know, but I assumed.
Nor do I. I'm not sure either.
It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know how. What is your ability to sing and your desire for love have really? How does that work?
You have to find both. You have to have both?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I'll give it a shot. I'm just hoping Summer Games comes back this summer for the Olympics.
Oh, we don't know.
Ooh, summer. Oh, because they had winter games.
Yes.
Oh, Nick, maybe
counter programming. Would you go on Summer Games?
No.
Would you go on any of these shows again?
No.
You're such an athlete. You do great.
I would never. I mean, I'm always happy to support the franchise. I would not go on as a contestant in the pursuit of love.
Would you do the Wells job? Would you be the bartender?
Sure. Yeah, I would show up and do that for fun.
The sake bartender for.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically what I did on my season of Paradise. Was just kind of
for Ashley specifically.
Just kind of like give people like it was like questions with Nick on the beach. What else have we not covered?
Well, you didn't talk about Hannah. I know you talked about Hannah a lot on her pod.
Extensively.
Can we just touch on it?
Sure. Hannah,
listen, I think Peter's very sincere. I think I get where Hannah's coming from. It's very relatable to what we talk about here on Questions with Nick. I mean, what Hannah is doing is what a lot of people have done in relationships. It's like the classic case of you break up with someone or you get dumped by someone. You don't want them, but you don't want them to move on. You move on. They're about to move on. You pop back in their life and you want to hear that they still love you.
Okay, so I was listening to Caitlin Bristow's podcast, and she said it was possible that the producers swayed her from picking Peter because they wanted him for The Bachelor. Do you think that's a possibility?
Discussed on.
Yeah, on Bachelor
I wasn't
Party.
there.
Is it possible? Sure, but it's a flawed theory, and here's why. Because if like that only works if at the end of the day.
She's positive
it's Jed.
Oh, okay. Because they wouldn't sway her from something.
Listen, they do care about love. If Peter could have been the runner-up and been the Bachelor. It's happened. This is not like, oh, you have to be the third runner-up, right? So if she was sincerely torn, she would have absolutely said, I don't know yet. And then been like, okay, well, let's just go with it.
Okay.
Right? So I think that's a flawed theory. Also, let's not forget, as we've mentioned, Peter's her fourth choice, not her third.
How?
Because she would have picked Luke P if he didn't totally fuck it up.
Oh my God, that's so true.
So in terms of people she actually was connecting with, Peter's fourth. And I don't care what she says, it's total revisionist history.
I just want to note, I still hope Peter and Hannah end up together.
You want this to work.
I do.
Oh, you're a romantic at heart.
Because Peter's girl?
I am romantic at heart. That's true. But I just think they have like this crazy chemistry and like
it's so sexual.
Explore it a little bit more, guys.
My God. Yeah. They were like literally about to kiss for 5 minutes.
Peter is very into Hannah. That much is real.
I mean, I think he
Hannah
clearly likes a Southern girl. If we've learned anything between Hannah Ann, Hannah Brown, Madison, Sydney, I think I think that even Kelly had Southern connections too. Like he just likes the Southern girl.
I just don't buy Hannah's connection. Listen, I'm not hating on Hannah here. We've all been there, but I don't buy that. It's too convenient that he's the Bachelor now, and it's too convenient that everyone loves Peter, and it didn't work out with her for like her other 3 choices. So like I don't buy that.
I don't really like you. I'm just bored.
Yes.
That's one of the things he always says.
Right here.
Yeah, and it's on the mug.
It's on the mug.
I overheard an amazing conversation recently where I heard this guy explaining to his friend where he was just like, I'm just really done with the casual dating just for the sex. Like, it's just not worth it to me anymore. Like, I'm only going out with girls I actually like. I have enough sex otherwise. I was just like, okay, dude. Cool. It was insane.
And he was talking as if he's really...
Like he has had to turn down a lot of offers. Like
he's really woke now, and now he's ready to be genuine and real.
Yes, exactly. It was classic. He also like definitely just assumed he was like in a safe space, but I assure you it was public. I wasn't eavesdropping, and he was just like going on and on about it.
I know you already talked about Champagne Gate on other podcasts, but everyone was being so nice to her. That's what I loved. The other women,
Kelsey,
they were really comforting her.
I think they were just afraid of her. She's losing her shit. And they're like, hey, man, like, don't cry. Don't kill me. What do you want me to do?
She was nuts.
Yeah.
But I have to give it to the editing. I love that they showed us what was going to happen first, so we could just like be clenching our chairs the whole time.
I think
Very
in
good at
general...
marketing.
Yeah, I think they have also, I like how they've kind of owned, like with the Revolve stuff, they've owned the fact that spoilers get out, and they've seen from the last couple of seasons that you can tease the really big moment and people still want to be a part of the build up.
Jump the fence.
I mean, jump the fence when for the Paradise, when Josh and I had our like fight, quote unquote, on the beach, they were showing that preview since episode 1. They show it every week. It works.
Yeah, it does work, and I think it's just I do think that it's cool that the show still evolves after 24 Bachelors.
Yeah, they have to, otherwise. And you're right. I'm glad
evolve or die.
If you're not growing, you're dying. I love that they're doing that. And like, who are you fooling at this point?
Right.
In terms of like these.
And the cult around it is so strong. People aren't watching just to like, I gotta know what happens, but they want to see that all the antics and all the craziness, and like that's why people like the bloopers at the end of the episode while the credits are rolling and all that.
Before I let you go, I know that you enjoy being spoiler free. Peter has actively, almost to the point of like, even for me, it's surprising. Like, adamantly said, no one's going to spoil this season.
Right.
He's seemingly almost overconfident. Even Chris Harris said, and one of the executive producers is like, I mean, hey, good for him for being confident, but like, yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
Right.
But yet, to this day, no one knows. And I will say that.
Do you know?
I have no idea. And then when I did talk to Peter, he, often what happens is like my interactions with leads in the past, they'll just be like, hey, I can tell you, right? Can I tell you? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And you could, I don't try to know, but you could tell Peter was very careful around me, so I didn't ask, but you could tell he didn't want, I like that. It's important to him no one can find out. But that being said, how? I mean, like, I'm surprised that, I don't know how it's not going to get out, because even if he doesn't tell anyone, and if let's assume he's with someone and she doesn't tell anyone, so many people still know the end.
A minimum
of 100
people who work on the show. Yeah. And then,
unless the end isn't written yet.
Well, even that would have been spoiled, right? There's some sort of conclusion, even if, like, if it's a Ari situation, there's some sort of finality, whatever. It's ended, whatever that ended, however that ended, no one knows that, right? So
it's 2 years today that Ari broke up with Becca.
How do you know that?
Happy anniversary.
I just know the date. It's January 13th. It was January 3rd, 2018.
What do you think happens? The reason I brought that up, do you have any guesses? Since we are spoiler free and Peter is so adamant that we'll not get it right.
Based on what we've seen of Chris Harrison being like, I've just got this news, I think
Don't let her go.
I think that mom clip is a red herring. I think that's more of like in general, like, find the love of your life and bring her home.
Could have been like something her dad said to her, and she's telling a story.
I don't think that's so specific to one person. I don't think the mom was like, Madison, she was essential at the vow renewal. Yeah. Bring her home to us.
You're probably right.
Yeah. I think Peter was going to propose, and then kind of like the Cassie situation, I just feel like he thought Colton thought Cassie wasn't into it or something like that. I just think he was going to propose, then has to change his mind, basically like what's happened to the Bachelorette many times, where they've been broken up with by their first choice, like Allie and Des, and then has to choose someone else, and maybe he doesn't propose, but they're together, like old school Bachelor.
And Rachel, right? With Peter?
Well, it depends who you ask on that one.
Oh.
Right, Nick?
Peter was not her first choice.
Okay.
You think he?
No. I think Rachel's has a lot of feelings about how her finale was portrayed.
Oh.
But no, she always wanted Brian.
It was always Brian.
You can tell from the makeout sounds from that those two had. It turned out very high.
I think she's sensitive to the perception that people thought it was the other way around.
Yeah. So that's my guess.
That's your guess.
He's with someone, but they're not engaged.
So if you are right, that's 3 seasons in a row of
no engagement.
Yeah.
A broken engagement. You know, I'm really happy for Ari and Lauren as time goes by.
Absolutely.
I just feel like that was the right couple. Maybe one of the like most right couples
Right?
in The Bachelor.
For all the
thought?
heat they got, and I even said at the time, it's like, wait, why is he like what
He
he
messed
did?
up.
And he messed up. He maybe didn't handle it that well, but like, why? Becca's now happy with
Yeah,
Garrett.
Becca seems so happy. Are you going to go to the live show?
Why should you be with someone you don't want to be with? No. That doesn't sound fun to me. I'm sure it's great and great for a lot of Bachelor fans, but
Have you been,
Ben
Juliet?
told me he does like he has to sing and dance, or at least
What?
dance. So that I am curious about. He's had to like. There's some performance required of Ben Higgins, so I actually am.
I can't
curious about
imagine
that.
Ben singing and dancing. That's fun.
I am curious about that.
I'm going to go. You don't want to go with me?
If it's in LA, I'll go with
It is in LA. It's the end of February.
Okay. Well, if
Like
you buy the-
every show he's going to sing and dance?
I don't know the details. Ben mentioned that. If you go and get tickets, I will tag along.
All right, wonderful.
But I'm not highly motivated to see it.
I will definitely go. I'll tag along.
But I hear it's great. You know, that's just a me thing. Well, Juliet, I think we have to wrap up here. But thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me. Check out
those
Bachelor Party,
Check out
too.
Bachelor Party. And for those of you who are from Bachelor Party, thanks for checking us out. We're also here on Mondays and Wednesdays for a lot of dating and relationship stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Check us out Monday, or actually, no, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So much content we're putting out. Tanya Rad will be joining us.
To
my dear
discuss
friend.
what?
What?
What's she going to talk about?
We're talking about so many things. We'll probably talk about our dating lives.
Yeah.
How
they're
we
similar.
are notoriously single with high standards and little luck.
Cool.
It'll be a lot of fun. Until next time. Thanks for listening.
Check out Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party people.
What?